Hello, my name is Melanie Wesley, and welcome to the Salon Social Podcast. This is the Client's Corner. In this series, we dive deep into the candid conversations with clients to empower beauty professionals to elevate their services and create unforgettable client experiences. In the beauty industry, a customer's perception is our reality, and who better to share their insights than the clients themselves? Our mission here is to shine a light on what clients truly value, equipping you with the knowledge to enhance your offerings and positively impact your bottom line. Together, we'll help beauty professionals unlock their full potential, one transformative experience at a time. Get ready to listen, learn, and elevate your craft. Thank you for lending me your ear. Until next time, be good, be true, be you. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Melanie Wesley, and welcome to the Salon Social Podcast. I am your salon experience consultant, and as promised, I'm bringing interviews from clients to get a perspective, the client's perspective on the client experience in the beauty industry. And today we are joined by Carleen. Hey, Carleen. What's up? How are you doing today?
I am doing wonderful. Thanks for asking.
Happy holidays. I guess it's not too soon to start saying that, right? Because
I think we can start saying that since we're done with trick-or-treating. Yes.
Exactly. We're embarking on the holiday season, so here it is. But I wanted to start this podcast because I saw a need in the beauty industry where customer service client experiences were just, lackluster, just to be nice about it. And so I saw a need to just, want to have the conversation, and who better to have the conversation with but those people who are paying for those services. I think it's important that we get clients to tell us what it is that they value, what they want, what they expect when they're paying for a service, in hopes to help us as beauty professionals to, bring a better service, a better experience to our business so that we can hopefully retain clients and eventually grow our business and have longevity. So today, Carleen, I would love to hear your stories in the beauty industry, whether that be like a spa or hair appointment or whatever, anything that you may have experienced good. I would love to hear your good experiences, and I would also love to hear your bad experiences if you just want to give us one story of each. So I'm going to pass the mic off to you.
All right.
Go.
Thank you. So I will say for me, for many years, I wore they call it the creamy crack. I've probably been natural for maybe about 15 to 16 years. And I will say that since I have gone natural with no chemicals in my hair, I have had the best experiences as far as booking my appointments. And when I have an appointment, what I have loved about having the natural hair and the salons that I've been to is that as soon as I get there, I'm immediately serviced.
Oh.
So no waiting. I think maybe the most I've waited to have services begun for me is maybe 5 minutes, right?
Oh, wow.
That is excellent service to me.
Yes.
And so, as my time is valuable, time is money for, the beautician or the stylist. So, that just tells me that they're very efficient in booking their calendar. And so when I get there, for me, that's my downtime and my time to relax. So I like being able to get right in the chair. My best experience, also my favorite thing about getting service is the wash. So as a young child, I did not like getting my hair washed. But as an adult, that is my favorite thing to do. I can go to sleep while getting my hair washed. So I love that. Now, on the flip side, what I can say about bad experiences that I have gone to salons in the past before going natural, and I have sat and I have waited for 45 minutes to an hour before my service was even begun. And in my mind, I was like, how is this efficient business? Or they would wash your hair, right? And then you
Yeah.
sit
Yeah.
for 20 to 30 minutes before they
Yeah.
perform the next service, which may be, your conditioner. So if I wanted to leave, I'm now kind of on the hook, like I can't leave
Yeah.
because my hair is wet.
Right. You
You know,
know, back in the day, that was like what that was standard. Like, you know what I mean? Because you mentioned before going natural. I don't know if that's when you had the bad experiences with like the relaxers, but like back in the day, you go to the salon on a Saturday, your appointment might be at 8 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes you would get there before the stylist. Sometimes she would be already working on someone, and you're like, wait a minute, she looks like she just got started with that person. I thought my appointment was at 8 o'clock. So now you're waiting to be serviced. And they would do that a lot. They would like shampoo your hair or leave you with some conditioner in there and just leave you under the
yes, I'm
dryer.
like, I think I'm all conditioned out because the conditioner sat on my hair maybe 45 minutes, or they would have an assistant who would rinse your hair, and then you have a bag on your hair. You just be sitting there, and I'm like, I
Kidding.
felt like I was being held hostage. So to me, that was an inefficiency on how they were doing their scheduling, because you know how long it's going to take you to do someone's hair. And I know that you can, while blow drying someone else, someone can be getting washed if you have an assistant. But I felt like they were booking the appointments right on top of one another. Like, I'm like, you know that it takes longer than 15 minutes in between appointments. So why are we booked 15 minutes apart?
I
Six
know.
of us sitting in the waiting area, looking at each other, and that was something, I look forward to the salon experience because that's my time to kind of like, girl talk. And
Yeah.
I would be so stressed out when I left there, leaving there, late at night, spending my whole day. I'm like, I did 8 hours already.
I mean,
You
it's
know,
like a work day, wasn't it? Like you might as well get paid for this because I'm here for as long as I am at work.
that's exactly, my thoughts, So then I moved to, trying to get braids and different things that, would last a little bit longer. My hair is like very, very thick.
Mm-hmm.
So I often we hear like, it just takes longer to do your hair. I'm like, okay, what about the lady in front of me who didn't have much hair? Like, why did it take you so long to do her hair? So
Right.
um, I've really enjoyed the experience, and I will say, not that I'm biased, like I will say this, I will never ever get a relaxer in my hair again. I think it did
Mm.
a lot of damage to my hair. For me, my mom, she just was not good with hair. And
Yeah.
so I started going to the salon in third grade.
Wow.
I got,
So you're
and
like a
so
veteran. You've been at this for a while.
a long time. And, well, let me take that back. I've been going to the salon since kindergarten. I got
Wow.
my first relaxer in third grade
Okay.
because, and I'm dating myself, but that's okay.
That's all
At
right.
the time, they didn't have blow dryers with combs on them. So what they used to do was when I got to the salon, they washed my hair, and then they put you in these, like the doo-doo braids, or like look like Bantu knots all over my hair. And then they would comb them out, right? Stick me under the dryer so then it draws up, and now they're pressing my hair out. When I say that was torture for me as a child, and I don't
That
want to say her
sounds
name.
painful.
It was painful as a child, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I'm afraid of the heat, and
Yes.
I'm moving and
And
everything, and
they're
they're like,
like,
"Hold
keep your
still,
head
baby."
straight.
Yeah,
Yelling
keep
at you
still,
like it's
be
your
still,
fault.
hold still, I'm just like, I'm like, oh God. So
Oh,
the stylist at the time was like, we're gonna put a mild relaxer in here. She told my mom we're giving her a mild relaxer because they just couldn't deal with me and I couldn't deal with them. So they put a mild relaxer in my hair, which it was pretty mild. So the experience was much easier with them washing my hair, and they rolled my hair up to dry it. So I was in big rollers to get it dry. And here, as a kid, I was thinking, oh, I'm about to get some curls. And they politely would brush it right into a nice little ponytail.
oh man.
But
I
it
know.
was, oh my God, it was so much easier on me. And then as I got older, I continued with the relaxer because that's how my mom was able to manage my
That's
hair.
what you
But
hear,
they
yeah.
started using like super.
Wow.
Yeah, and my scalp got burnt quite a few times. They're like, you
Oh.
gotta get it straight. So I suffered a few burns before.
Mm.
And then I have a very sensitive scalp, so that did not help with my scalp. So I think as a result now, well, I have my scalp is very dry, has been
Yeah.
dry since those relaxers. And even now, it's better now that I'm natural, but I still suffer a little bit of dryness. So those have been like my hair salon experiences.
Yeah.
I've been locked for a little over 3 years.
Oh, wow. It's beautiful.
And I love, like, I'm like, why didn't I do this before?
Okay. Everybody that locks their hair always says that. They're like, this is amazing. Why didn't I do this before? It's so easy. The just like the maintenance of it, like the get up and go option, like it's just less stressful to deal with,
I feel
than
free,
another. What was that?
Melanie. I feel free with this.
Yes.
And I get so many compliments and people saying, gosh, if I had only started, I was like, it is a journey. It is a process. You have to be patient. Everyone's experience is going to be different, and so people are always asking about, going natural, or locking my hair. And like I said, I love it, love it, love it. I don't know how long I'm going to let it grow. I kept saying, I'm going to let it grow forever, but I like the length that I'm at right now.
Yeah.
I
mean, again, like you said, it's a journey. So like you're just on that journey. And then when you get to the point where if you do want to cut it, you'll know because you'll be at that point in your life. So it's just like kind of freedom to just go with the flow and see what it does and see how long it gets. And if you don't want it long, then you can trim it. You don't have to comb it out or cut it out. You can also trim it into a style. You can put layers. You can do a lot because it is hair at the end of the day. It's just the way I like to look at it is like it's like big hair strands. So, that's pretty much all you need. I mean, you can do anything with it, but
and
I don't
that's
want to
the
skip.
beauty of it, being able to style it many different ways, and I'm just like, I love that too, that I can do different, variations with. I can wear it down, I can pin it up, I can put it in a bun, a ponytail. There's so many different things you can do, that you could still do if your hair wasn't locked. So that's what I love about it, too, the versatility.
But I don't want to skip over, the part, like the beginning of our conversation, because you just took me on like a journey of hairstyles and hair experiences from like one generation to the next. It's like because you talk about like having to get your hair permed when you were a young child because at the time the stylist that you were seeing found it to be really difficult for them to comb through your hair and manage your hair, so then they suggested putting in a mild relaxer at the age of in the third grade.
Yes.
And so back then we didn't really have a lot of the tools, a lot of the products and the knowledge that we do now. So, to their defense, they were working with what they had. But then when you think about it, it's like it was also the culture, right? Like that was just what was expected. You were a black girl with kinky hair. You went to the salon, and 9 times out of 10, you would end up getting a relaxer. Like that was just what it was. That's what we did in our culture. That's what we did back in the day. And like, but then a relaxer is even more, to me, if you don't know what you're doing and if you don't have the time to take care of it, it could be more damaging to your hair than leaving it alone and leaving it natural. Because if you don't know if you get a relaxer and you don't take care of it, like you can end up with a lot of breakage, dryness, all kinds of stuff like that. Same with natural, but more so I think with relaxers, especially as a child. A child, you want to go jumping in the pool, you want to go playing with your friends. You don't take the time to really pour into your hair because you're just that's not your priority. And parents.
What I can say about that experience is my mom, we had a routine. So I got my hair done every 2 weeks. So
wow.
hair was maintained very well. My mom or my dad took me to the salon every 2 weeks. It was $7 to get my hair done.
Mm-hmm. $7.
$7 it was. And my hair was probably longer than it is now.
Okay, so they maintained it really well. Well,
yeah, my mom, no planning your hair. My mother was very strict about planning your hair, getting in water. So I knew,
yeah, not to do those things. That's good that you also we're back with the education of how to take care of it, because not everyone, for one, could go to a salon that often and afford to go to a salon that often. Even though $7 doesn't sound like a lot of money, it was still a lot of money back in the day.
Yes,
And
yes, yes.
so, like, you know, that was a privilege to be able to go to the salon every 2 weeks to get your hair done. So thank goodness that, you know, your parents invested in that. But like, I feel like it's still a little, it's unfortunate that they kind of just put a relaxer in your hair at such a young age, because now we know the chemicals that are involved in relaxers are really, you know, is
Imagine.
not, it's, yeah, it's just, it's not good for your hair. So I mean,
No.
you know, to each his own. If you want to put a relaxer in your hair, that's totally up to you. But know what you're doing before you do it, right? Like before you start getting into it, know what you're getting into. But and so like I just wanted to kind of go down the timeline. So you're third grade, relaxer, and then what was you said when you didn't have any bad experiences when you got natural. So when was the tell me about the bad experiences. Was that what before you went natural, or was that
It was before I went natural, and that was like I said, people putting now I'm an adult, right? And I'm still getting the relaxers. Didn't know any better. I'm still getting
the
relaxers, and
supers?
a lot of people felt that because my hair was very coarse, that I needed a stronger strength relaxer.
Yeah.
And now they're putting super in my hair. And
Which caused
I,
damage.
yeah, it did. Like I said, I suffered a lot of burns, like it couldn't stay on my hair long, but they were like, we got to get it straight, and so my edges, they were super slicked. But I think that's when I was experiencing a lot of the damage, and mentally, actually, it was a toll on me because I knew when I had to go get a relaxer,
Oh
it was
yeah.
gonna burn. I knew it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm not scratching my hair, I'm like, okay, don't scratch, it's itching, but I know I'm getting a relaxer, or they're leaving the relaxer on my hair while they're doing somebody else's hair, I'm sitting with the relaxer on and I'm just like, excuse me, we need to get this off I'm burning.
All I can think of as you're talking about this is that scene in the Malcolm X movie where Denzel, his scalp
Mm,
is on fire and he finally just runs, and the first thing he could find was a toilet, and
so,
he's like
look,
rinsing the
I was like,
relaxer out over the toilet.
that was me. I was running for the top, and when they put you back to rinse you, I'm guiding them like over here, ooh, over
Oh
here, over
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
it was
goodness.
pretty
That just
bad.
brings back bad memories. I have had a couple of those same experiences with relaxers getting burnt in the scalp. But I didn't put a relaxer. My mom, I begged for a relaxer, but my mother was like, no. I didn't get a relaxer until I was probably 15 years old. And then I grew my hair out back natural when I was like 22. So there wasn't a lot of time that I had a relaxer in my hair. I don't know if it's
Mhm.
because I grew up in St. Lucia, and like, we were not trying to put like everybody wore their hair natural. Like most people wore their hair natural. The only people that wore relaxers were like adults who can afford to buy it, because my mother was
Oh,
not spending her money on a relaxer for her child. So but like I remember those incidences where I did have a relaxer and I had some burns. And then not to mention, but like when you use the curling iron to curl it, that would mess up, on a flat iron or the hot comb. Like if you didn't get a relaxer, like all of those traumatizing experiences, it's just crazy that we put
yeah.
ourselves and our children through it. But you know better, you do better, right? So, thinking about those experiences, can you think of anything that they could have done to kind of maybe like not made it so bad? I mean, I know we were working on like limited knowledge and products and
Yeah,
equipment and
I
whatever,
don't
but
know. I mean, when I look at my hair now in my natural state, my hair is not that bad. So I'm just like, I'm not sure. I think it was just the tools that they had to use. But I'm sure there could have been other things they could have done to make the experience better for me. Also, I was very tender-headed too, so I probably wasn't helping because I wasn't going to sit still. If you're pulling my hair, I'm going with you. So, um, I'm
yeah,
really not sure what they could have done back then, but I'm,
yeah.
as I got older, you know, there were different variations. And then what became very popular was getting your hair braided, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've
Yeah.
done the braids too, but once again, I'm tender headed. So I really didn't like anybody to touch my hair at all.
Right. So, which is why locks is probably one of the best styles for you because you hardly have to get your hair done. I mean, outside of shampoo and keeping your scalp clean, you can really go for weeks without retwisting. And if you're someone who doesn't really like the perfect twisted scalp every 3 to 4 weeks, you can go 6 to 8 weeks without doing your
Yeah,
hair.
I think
Just keep your
the
scalp
older
clean.
it looks, the better it looks to me. You know, like it doesn't have
Yeah,
to be super super neat. So I
yeah,
like, you know, I like this style. Like I said, it's very freeing. You know, and then, you know, maybe just touching up. You know, like I said, just cleaning the scalp. But I don't like. I prefer not touching my hair at all. If I could
yeah.
just touch it up, if I could put on a wig and just go, that would be perfect for me.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm very happy that I decided to lock my hair too because it is freeing. I don't have to worry about the hair is the last thing I think about because my hair is thick as well, and it would take me like 2 days to go through the shampoo process because the first day would be just shampooing, conditioning, and treating it, and then the next day would be like detangling and styling it, and just to do a style again in the following week. It was just a lot. It just became too time consuming, and now I can just get up and go. Like the extent of my decision making when it comes to my style is, do I want to flip it right or left? Do I want to wear it up or down? Like that's it for me. I'm like I'm just like, I just whatever. It's just really easy. I don't worry about when it rains. I don't worry about going swimming. Like none of that. It's really a freeing thing. And like, I'll tell anybody, just be patient with the process because in the beginning it is kind of hard. But once it goes through that locking process and it starts to grow, like everybody loves it. And they always like, I should have done this a long time ago. I can't believe it took me this long. So just to stay on conversation, I'm kind of veering off a little bit. But like, would you pay more based on the experiences that you have had in the salon industry or the beauty industry? Would you pay more money for a better experience, and why?
Absolutely. As mentioned before, you know, when I go to the salon, I want it to be, I'm going there to get a service, but I'm also going there to relax, you know. So nothing against kids, you know, but oftentimes there was kids running around the salons, you know, or like I said, what's important to me is the efficiency of the hairstylist, or I believe that everybody deserves to have a lunch break, right? Schedule that in your books. They're eating. Oh, hold on. I got to grab something to eat. I got to run out and do this. I got to go pick up my kids, you know. And so I understand that, you know, life be life and you have to do those things. But, you know, at the end of the day, I'm paying for a service, right?
Right.
And so I'm there and I want my time, the time that I'm paying for, to be used efficiently. So I don't mind paying extra when I know that I can come right in. I'm getting right in the chair. They're dedicated to me and getting me in and out of the salon. Who wants to be there all day?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
will pay more for great service.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Service, and I heard you say also professionalism, time
Absolutely.
management, efficiency, like all of that, because you're paying to get a service done, but you're also paying to carve out that person's time with them, right? So you're with that person, and so it only makes sense to make that client feel in the time that they're there with you, make them feel like they are your number one priority. Like I'm
Yes.
focused on you and only you, right?
Those meal breaks, those running out if you have to go get something, uh friends coming to visit, taking telephone calls, all of those things are very unprofessional to me when you're getting your salon service. And so those are things that I think are important to the client. At least in my experiences, those things are very important. You know, that the time is dedicated to me and me only for that window that you have set aside for me. So
I
all those
agree.
other things should be done before I arrive or after I
Yes.
leave.
Yeah. And then like you said, life be life. And so like if in case you're there and you're in the middle of a service and you receive a call and you feel the need to answer the call at least don't for one stay on the phone for longer than a minute, enough to say, hey, is everything okay? Okay, well, I'm in the middle of a service. Please, I'm gonna call you right back. But you have people who sit on the phone while they're doing hair, and they're 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and they having a whole conversation between them and the person, and you just sitting there in silence, and it's like, and they get
Yeah,
off the phone, and it's like nothing. They don't even acknowledge it. They don't apologize for it. They don't, try to make up nothing. It's just insane, and that definitely is not professional at all. So yeah,
no,
I,
this is my time, and
right,
I want to feel that, that I am a priority.
yeah,
And when you're doing
yeah,
other things, that means I'm not a priority. So that means I need to take myself and my business elsewhere.
exactly. Because I'm paying for all of that. I'm paying for
The total
the
experience.
the experience, exactly. And so yeah, that is such a good point that you bring up. Like, I think what I heard you say is that you are looking for an experience where the stylist or the servicer is showing professionalism, efficiency, timeliness, all of that stuff to kind of make a good experience, your experience as best as it could be, because some of those other stories are just kind of outrageous, right? Like
Absolutely. I believe it is true when people say you get what you pay for. I am an advocate for that. So I will spend extra money to get exceptional service.
absolutely, because you're bringing, at that point, you're bringing a value. You're bringing values to people, right? Like, it's not just about a transaction. Like, you're just coming to get your hair done and then you're leaving. Like, there's relationship building, there's value that's brought to it. There's just all of those things that really holistically make a good experience. And like you said, you get what you pay for. So if you're gonna you know, get, pay a little bit of money for something, you just don't expect much out of it. Like, that's just what
Yes,
it
and
is.
don't have high expectations.
Don't have high, don't have high expectations. That is so true. This has been such a good conversation, Carleen. I thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day. I know people are busy. Life is just moving at like super fast speed. So I really appreciate you for carving out just a little bit of your day to have this conversation. I think it's so necessary for beauty professionals in all different industries to really hear from the client, because after all, we are not in business without clients. So we appreciate you. We thank you so much for coming on. And I really hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Yes, thanks for having me.
You're very welcome.